I'm going to start with tablet 6. So Enkidu and Gilgamesh have defeated Humbaba, and now they can provide cedar for their people. And so here we begin. He washed out his marred hair and cleaned up his equipment, shaking out his locks down over his back, throwing off his dirty clothes and putting on clean ones. He wrapped himself in regal garments and fastened the sash. So Gilgamesh is getting all spiffy. When Gilgamesh placed his crown on his head, a princess, Ishtar, raised her eyes to the beauty of Gilgamesh. So Gilgamesh gets himself fancied and gussied, and Ishtar sees him, and ooh la la, she says, "Come along, Gilgamesh, be you my husband, to grant me your lusciousness." Probably not something you want to put in a Valentine's Day card. She says, and there's this repetition, "Be you my husband, and I will be your wife. I will have harnessed for you a chariot of lapis lazuli and gold, with wheels of gold and horns of electrum. It will be harnessed with great storming mountain mules. So if you come with me to be my husband, I will give you this remarkable chariot made of all this beautiful lapis lazuli and gold and drawn by mountain mules. Come into our house with the fragrance of cedar, and when you come into our house, the doorpost and the throne dais will kiss your feet. Bow down beneath you will be kings, lords, and princes. The Lulubu people will bring you the produce of the mountains and the countryside as a tribute. Your she-goats will bear triplets, your ewes twins. Your donkey under the burden will overtake the mule. Your steed at the chariot will be bristling to gallop. Your axe at the yoke will have no match. So if you become my king, I'll give you all of these things. You'll be prosperous. Kings and lords will bow down before you. There will be nothing that you'll ever want." Gilgamesh addressed Princess Ishtar, saying, she's actually a goddess, "What would I have to give you if I married you? Do you need oil or garments for your body? Do you lack anything for food or drink? I'll gladly feed you food fit for a god. I would gladly give you wine fit for a king. And may the street be your home? May you be clothed in a garment, and may any lusting man marry you?" So basically, he's starting to insult her a little bit. He's saying that you've married an awful lot of men, not just me, and she's discarded them too, which he will point out. An oven, who the text is degraded, ice, a door that keeps out neither breeze nor blast, a palace that crushes down valiant warriors, an elephant who devours its own covering, pitch that blackens the hands of its bearer, a waterskin that soaks its bearer through, limestone that buckles out the stone wall. So he's listing all of the things that he's comparing her to, and they're things that don't work. A battering ram that attracts the enemy land, a shoe that bites its owner's feet. So you're like all of these awful things. You're like an oven that makes things cold. You're like a raincoat that makes the wearer wet. You're like a shoe that's really uncomfortable. And you can imagine how Ishtar would feel about this. Where are your bridegrooms that you keep forever? Where is your little shepherd bird that went up over you? See here now, I will recite the list of your lovers. Of the shoulder, so-and-so, his hand. Tammuz, the lover of your earliest youth. From him you have ordained lamentations year upon year. You loved the colorful little shepherd bird and then hit him, breaking his wing. So now he stands in the forest crying, "My wing." You loved the supremely mighty lion, and yet you dug for him 7 and again 7 pits. You loved the stallion famed in battle, yet you ordained for him the whip, the goad, and the lash, ordained for him to gallop for 7 and 7 hours, ordained for him drinking from muddled waters. You ordained for his mother, Silili, to wail continually. So he's going through like, these are all the people or creatures whom you have loved, and here's what's happened to them. So you loved the little bird, but then you broke its wing. And then you loved the lion, but then you threw him into a pit. And you loved the stallion, but now the stallion is yoked and whipped. So I don't want to be your lover because you just do horrible things to all the people and creatures whom you love. You loved the shepherd, master herder, who continually presented you with bread baked in embers and who daily slaughtered for you a kid. A kid is a baby sheep. Yet you struck him and turned him into a wolf, so his own shepherds now chase him. And his own dogs snap at his shins. You loved Ishulanu, your father's date gardener, who continually brought you baskets of dates and brightened your table daily. You raised your eyes to him and you went to him. Oh, my Ishulanu, let us taste your strength. Stretch out your hand to me and touch our vulva. Ishulanu said to you, me? What does he want from me? So this you'll obviously notice as a very sexualized part of the text. But remember that this is an ancient Mesopotamian text where sexuality was considered divine, not, as we do now, consider it sinful. Me, what is it you want from me? Has my mother not baked? Have I not eaten that I should now eat food under contempt and curses, and that alfalfa grass should be my only cover against the cold? As you listened to these words, you struck him, turning him into a dwarf. You made him live in the middle of his garden of labors, where the minhu do not go up, nor the bucket of dates down. And now me? Is it me you love, and you will ordain for me as for them? Oh, when Ishtar heard this, in a fury she went up to the heavens, going to Anu, her father, crying, going to Anrum, her mother, weeping. Father, Gilgamesh has insulted me over and over. Gilgamesh has recounted despicable deeds about me, despicable deeds and curses. So she's mad. Anu addressed Princess Ishtar, saying, what is the matter? Was it not you who provoked King Gilgamesh? So Gilgamesh recounted despicable deeds to you, despicable deeds and curses. Ishtar spoke to her father, Anu, saying, Father, give me the bull of heaven, so he can kill Gilgamesh in his dwelling. If you do not give me the bull of heaven, I will knock down the gates of the netherworld, I will smash the doorposts and leave the doors flat down, and I will let the dead go up and eat the living, and the dead will outnumber the living. So she's mad and says, fine, if you don't give me the bull of heaven to kill Gilgamesh, then I'm going to open the gates of hell and they're going to eat up all the living. I don't care. Anu addressed Princess Ishtar, saying, if you demand the bull of heaven from me, there will be 7 years of empty husks for the land of Uruk. Have you collected grain for the people? Have you made grasses grow for the animals? So what are you going to do to keep the people safe? And Ishtar addressed Anu, her father, saying, I have heaped grain in the granaries for the people. I made grasses grow for the animals in order that they might eat in the 7 years of empty husks. I have collected grain for the people. I have made grasses grow for the animals. When Anu heard her words, he placed the nose rope of the bull of heaven in her hand. I'm sorry, the nose rope. It's the little, you know how sometimes pigs and bulls have the nose rings, and those nose rings are hooked to ropes that makes them complacent. So he gives her the bull of heaven. Ishtar led the bull of heaven down to earth. When it reached Uruk, it climbed down to the Euphrates. At the snout of the bull of heaven, a huge pit opened up, and 100 young men of Uruk fell in. So the bull of heaven is enormous, and it sucks up the people in its nose. At his second snort, a huge pit opened up, and 200 young men of Uruk fell in. So they get snorted up his nose. At his third snort, a huge pit opened up, and Enkidu fell in up to his waist. Then Enkidu jumped out and seized the bull of heaven by its horns. The bull spewed his spittle in front of him. With his thick tail, he flung his dung behind him. So now he's getting, the bull is fighting back. My friend, we can be bold. How shall we respond? My friend, I saw, and my strength I will rip out. I and you, we must share. I shall grasp the bull. I will feel my hands in front between the nape and the horns, and thrust your sword. So now they're fighting with the bull of heaven, Enkidu and Gilgamesh. So I'm going to stop here, and then the next video will start up.